Alright, here's my update on my Ohio George Willys gasser. Got a few more days to go in the contest. Figured out how to do an update before the end of the contest. Got quite a bit done. Haven't been doing much updating because I've only had an hour here and there, a couple hours at a time at the most to work on the car, so it really wasn't much time to be filming and all that. But I wanted to get some photos together or some video together to show people have been asking me about the kit, where they can see some things before I go any further with closing it up. Obviously the big main thing is the chassis, and interior has been pretty well done. It's all been painted out. I mixed up a color, some acrylic to get the blue of the actual car, and then I've mixed up what looked like the color in the pictures to color all these panels that are that have the snaps in them and all that. The back is black, and then the front under the dash is black. Got a aluminum floorboard, and then all the details are correctly painted and everything. I'm trying to build it just like the car, so it's taking a little more time with that too. Just can't take any liberties. I'm trying to do it just like the car. Got the roll bar in. Everything that was chrome has been stripped, cleaned. There was a lot of filing and sanding involved, seams, lots of seam work and sink holes and things like that. All that took a lot of time to get all the chromed parts cleaned up and then re-chromed. The steering is pretty cool. It goes all the way through, and then you've got your little gearbox here, so you don't see that often going all the way through like that. Got the radiator combination on there now. Got on the bottom, got most of the suspension work installed. This has all been stripped, re-chromed piece by piece, and then assembled. You got all the little shocks, and I just want to give some good views for people that are thinking of building this kit, so they can kind of get a good view of how things go together and all. Very fiddly. There's all kinds of little pieces that there's not much positive mounting. It's more or less just indentations of where pieces go and glue, and then you got to kind of fit things, and so there's a lot of fitting and slow gluing, just piece by piece, getting things into position. Pieces that come around, like these shocks that come all the way around and go up in here, and then your different bars. This is like three pieces, just this little linkage that goes up here. So a little tricky. I would recommend assembling all that and gluing it piece by piece, and then where you can take it back off and paint it as an assembly. That's what I ended up doing. I couldn't imagine doing it any other way, trying to glue each piece of chrome. It would have been pretty messy by the time I got through. So anyway, got the majority of that done. I've still got to do the wheelie bar assembly that goes on the back. I've got started on it, and it's got another little piece that goes in there that holds the wheel. Got the wheel assembled. The engine is mostly together and painted. There's still some pieces that go on it. Amazing, nice engine here. I mean, very nice, very nice. 320 or 427. Various metallic colors. Trying to match the car. Aside from the oil pan, I believe the oil pan is blue, like the block. I just wanted something to break it up a little. You've even got a separate bracket and everything, separate pieces for the belt and hoses. You got this assembly here that I've still got a detail paint. There's some red and blue and different colors on that. There's still the exhaust to go on. There's a starter that still goes on here, oil filter. So it's quite an impressive engine. I mean, that would be great in a number of builds. Just the engine alone out of this kit. Ended up mixing my own color for the blue. I was going to order some paint, but I've got so much of this Model Master paint that I was able to mix up a color. It took a little while to get it right, but so I'm using an acrylic that I mixed up, and should have enough because I've already painted. I've still got nearly a full bottle, and I've already painted the interior components and of things, you know. So the glass that I was worried about actually fits fine. It's a little thick and all, but it fits good and it looks good and there's not a lot of it showing, so that came okay. Like I said, the exhaust I need to put on, I've got it re-chromed and cleaned all up. I'm going to do some heat staining on it just to add a little bit of detail, and a few other odds and ends. I just got maybe 4 or 5 other pieces that need to go on the kit. The main thing I got left to do is the painting, obviously, which is a good thing that I'm doing the acrylic, because that'll be dry in half a day pretty much, and then I can clear coat. Then I'll do the decals, and I think I'm just going to wax over the decals. There's my spoon I sprayed, my practice spoon. Came out pretty nice. So the body, a lot of cleanup again, little seam edges. It wasn't too bad, but you know, obviously just they were hard to get to, little areas to clean up. There's the back piece. It had a little chip missing out of the corner edge of it, so I had to fill that and sand. The biggest amount of work was the insert that goes in this hood. All the pictures I looked at just show a solid hood, although I've seen builds with just the clear piece installed, but I don't know, I just wanted to go like the model. This took several rounds of filling and sanding, and as you can see, it's a little bit of overspray and some things going on here, but everything's been cleaned up pretty well. I just got to get it sanded back down nice and smooth. I may have to shoot another little bit of primer on it and let that dry, then I can shoot my color. I did scribe around the back fenders here. I scribed around those and put some wash in there. Hopefully that'll come through all of Marquis Cruz. And I've already painted the black rubber guards that are on the front of the fenders, and that's been masked off. So I got to be careful when I'm getting in here and sanding and cleaning up. I'm just hoping, I didn't want to mess with that after I got it all painted and everything, so I'm hoping that I can just peel that off after I paint. It's going to be nice and clean looking. The biggest fit problem is the hood to the body. It's not exactly a perfect match. You have to kind of stretch the front hood, and then it wants to kind of pop off because it's such a small amount of ridge there on both pieces, or mainly on this. I've done a lot of cleanup and test fitting, and I've got it to where if I can get it on there it fits okay, but it won't stay. So I may have to take just a little stretch of the box stock ruling and use a piece of masking tape or something inside there to hold the hood on for my final slideshow and everything. And then after, I'll go back and probably glue in some little tabs or something, or a pin or something to hold that hood in place when it's closed, because it actually tilts forward, but the tilting setup that they've designed here is very sloppy, so it just basically just kind of just flops over. But the big deal is when it's closed, getting it to close up and stay on there and not want to keep popping off one side or the other. So I might have to take a little liberty there with a piece of masking tape. I hope that's not, that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, what can you do, to be honest? The biggest problem with the chrome was the chrome looked really good. It was the undercoating on the chrome, the clear lacquer undercoating that they put on. I mean, it was awful. After I stripped the chrome, which I just use bleach usually, that usually doesn't get much of that undercoating off. Now in modern kits it's really smooth and you almost don't have to take it off, but in the case of this kit, all the parts were really sloppily undercoated. I mean, there was runs, there was pooled up areas, it took a lot of detail out. You know, like on these valve covers, you know, when I finally got all that stuff off there, it brought all that detail out. I mean, you can actually read, you know, forward and even the small, you know, 427 and all that, and you know, brought out the ribs and things, but there was a lot of details that came out. Once I finally got the undercoating off, which is a whole nother story I'm going to do a video on, I found a great way of doing that, but it takes a little bit of finesse or you can ruin your parts, so I'm going to do a video on that before I say what I did, okay? But it works great. I'm actually overall really happy with the kit. For the people that's been asking me about the kit and, you know, how's it going and, you know, is it, you know, fitting well and all that. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a buildable kit. It takes a little patience and time to get all the little fiddly bits, you know, together and lined up. It's been enjoyable. It's a really cool build. I'm building another one of these for sure. You know, if that's any indication, yeah, I would definitely build another one of these. And paint it up wild, you know, so, and detail it out, you know, wire it and everything. Be awesome. So thanks for watching. Sorry I haven't put any updates up, and sorry that this one's a little bit long, so I guess you could just say I crammed it all into this one, because the next one will probably be the final. Thanks for commenting. I'm sorry I don't always get to everybody's comments. I'm just busy. I don't want to spend too much time on the internet every night, but I sure do appreciate everybody commenting and watching my channel. It means a lot to me, and I'll talk to y'all soon.